What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BreakZone. I'm JT.
And I'm Laurent.
And we're giving you live coverage here of Square Enix's Crystal Cup here at Boston, as everyone's trying to get a bid to get to the North American National Championships. And just to give you a bit of a heads up, we're going to give you some names, and hopefully you guys know some of the players here. If you do, cheer on. If you don't, you might, might find a new favorite player to watch. All right, Laurent's going to go ahead and give you the top 10 as they stand.
All right, we've got on first place Jesse Freeman at 4-0. And second place, Andy Carmona, 4-0. Third place, Gregory Cole, 4-0. Fourth place, Jonathan Sidornia, 4-0. Fifth place, Matt Okimoto, 4-0. Sixth place, Maxwell Williams, 4-0. Seventh place, Darian Correa, 3-1. Eighth place, Jean Olet, 3-1. Ninth place, Anthony Figoria, 3-1. And 10th place, Michael Hunsicker, 3-1.
And you've already seen a lot of these players on our streams. For round 5, we're going to go ahead and bring you guys to a featured table that's going to showcase 2 players who are battling to get into the top 16. A lot of these players here are in the top 10. We're gonna take it down, and we're gonna show you the nitty-gritty, as they say, and as these players battle to try to get into the top 16 for day 2 tomorrow. So we're just about to start round 5. Thank you again for joining us here at the BreakZone as we give you live coverage of the Boston Crystal Cup. We hope you guys are enjoying everything, and we hope you guys are enjoying the matches we're bringing you. Once again, a huge shout out to Square Enix. This is an amazing venue. Everybody here is having a great time, and we're just really happy to bring you guys the coverage and have you be a part of this event like we are. All right, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into round 5. So we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay, so going here, we're going to have Brian Berkeley versus Ricardo Lascono. And if anybody remembers Brian, he placed really high on the Los Angeles Petit Cup.
And the Petit Cup. I believe Brian's from Southern California. A known player down there, and both of these players are battling to get into the top 16, and it's always great to see these matches, Lou, because a lot of the players who are at the topper end of the matches, a lot of their matches kind of go the same. They're already doing well, but a lot of these players are on the bubble, and you start to see a difference in play set. They might be a little bit more aggressive than they want to be, or they might be a little bit more conservative than they want to be. So it's really interesting to see how players kind of play or change their play style in hopes to making day 2. Sometimes they keep consistent, sometimes they don't. So let's see how both of these players do as we move on to Swiss round 5. We're just about to start, so here we go.
All right, so looks like both players are ready, and Ricardo's going to start off with by drawing his card.
Looks like he's going to draw first.
So it looks like this matchup is going to be what? Fire Ice versus Ice Water?
Wow, he's go ahead and playing that Joe Nabat for no value right now. That EX burst has no forwards to choose.
And he discarded a
Kazusa to play that.
Meaning that he is not going for the full discard speed, because otherwise he could have done it the other way around.
On a side note, what you're seeing right now are these black playmats that Square Enix gave out during the pre-release, and let me tell you, in person, they are really nice. They're pretty cool.
They look so formal, sharp, crisp, and I mean, this is definitely an important event and feature table.
And it's just great to see these awesome and minimalistic playmats. You see them in person; they're very nice. We have Brian go ahead and pitching a Belias here to play a red mage, and passing his turn to Ricardo. Ricardo's going to go ahead and pitch a Strago.
To play a lock. Passing the turn to Brian.
Oh, Brian's got to answer that lock. He does not want to start discarding some cards right now.
Let's see.
Pitching a Duke Larg. Play a Duke Larg. Is he gonna? He's got to have to play some cards. Otherwise, he's gonna lose them. That lock is gonna come and start pounding away here.
Oh, he's checking how many cards in hand.
Looks like he's got 3.
I'm wondering what kind of answer he has to this.
I would actually just bring out a blocker. Oh, he's going to pitch a Renoa. And don't freeze. That's a heck of an answer you got there.
It's Locke's little bigger brother, pretty much.
And he's going to go ahead and Sage, haste, and swing. Wow, instead of losing a card, he's going to force Ricardo here to take a point of damage, flipping over a
Thaumaturge.
Helmet, yeah. And also discarding a card.
So both players seem to be playing very aggressively, but Brian might actually be coming out on top. I mean, we're talking about three backups, no cards in hand.
Three backups, no cards in hand, and he's playing against a, well, it seems to be a discard deck, so, can't discard if I don't have a hand.
That's true. That's definitely one strategy.
That is a legitimate strategy here.
All right. Dolgel pitching
a Gasper to play into a Setzer. He's going to go ahead and search. What is he going to grab here? I'm assuming it's going to be a Gastalian Sid, which is usually what most people get, because then you can use the Gastalian Sid to grab another character.
Correct.
Thereby fetching 2 cards, but he passed 1 up, so let's see what he's going to grab here.
So Setzer is definitely in it.
Oh, there you go.
So what you have to realize also is that while Setzer might look like a good answer to Genesis, the Duke Lark is making a difference. So that's something that we discuss once in a while, is that when playing something of a mirror match, having the first player to be able to play out that backup that gives plus 1,000 power to a certain element might just put you out on top.
So he's going to go ahead and block that Setzer.
Don't freeze the Genesis.
The Genesis. Looks like Brian's got another play here in mind. He's going to go ahead and Doom Train.
7,000.
Right in the face of Locke. And he's done a very good job right now of controlling the field, leaving Ricardo with only a backup. And forcing him to discard a card here.
So we're looking at what? 3 backups, 1 forward to 1 backup?
Right.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Let's see if Ricardo can come back from this.
Well, Genesis is dull frozen right now, so he's not going to get a lot of attacking through, but still, he's ahead of the match right now. He's going to go ahead and pitch that right to play a Gastalian Sid. And is he going to grab another Setzer? It looks like he's going to grab another Setzer, and we're going to see the play come all over again. It's going to be a Setzer, likely into a Lock.
He's able to buy himself a lot of time by getting Setzers. The Setzer, whenever he breaks, is going to be able to dull freeze, and unless Brian is able to bring out more forwards to put up.
He does play his own Lock right here, thereby increasing more threat to Ricardo's hand here. Both players are playing some offshoot of Ice's discard ability.
That's definitely been a strong point for Ice since the last last release, Opus 4. The combination of Genesis and Lock is something that is very scary to face early on.
Oh man, it just destroys your hand here.
It kills off a lot of your options. I mean, you're trying to save. Normally, you sculpt out your hand. You discard cards that you don't need, and you play the best possibility. You put your best possibility out there.
Play that Yuna right there, pitching another Yuna and a
Mateus.
He's deciding which card he wants to return. He chooses the Lock. It seems like he's doing a lot of pitching just to stabilize.
But it's working.
It's working now. I don't know how long it's going to continue to work. He's pitching another EX Yuna. Well, granted, he has 2 in his hand, so it's not too bad. But wow, did we just see a double VV draw?
Not really sure.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and swing.
And there goes...
it's going to be no EX there. No help from the EX, so they're pitching an Edward. Then he's going to get that card from his hand. A Lock. We know the Lock is coming back out. He is keeping the status quo. I like the purposeful plays by Brian Berkeley. He's just keeping status quo, not overextending, keeping cards in his hand. Wow, is that 3 Yunas that we've just seen? He pitches a Yuna again. This time grabbing another Setzer. It's 2 Setzers and 3 Yunas that we've seen.
Or playing out a Setzer. I think he grabbed it.
Right. But then now he's going to go ahead and hopefully grab a Lock.
So with Sid and Setzer in play, when he plays Lock, if he gets that opportunity, he'll be able to make Brian discard a card.
Right.
But I don't even know if he's going to get that opportunity, actually. If that's the only card in his hand, it's actually going to be discarded as if Brian decides to attack with both forwards.
Yes. cards in hand. He's going to check. He's going to go and swing with that Genesis there.
And with Duclarg, AK. Oh, actually, he's able to save his lock, but now he won't be able to trigger.
Dull freezes right here.
Let's see what Brian has in mind.
Probably another forward to play into a Sabin. Wow. That's going to be really tough to deal with right now on Ricardo's end.
3 backups. Yeah, and no forward.
Just
that's going to
the
be a little
Sabin
tough.
itself is just going to keep swinging. And even if he does get a forward out, Brian has that red mage. It might be 3 points of damage on this next turn.
Might just be
2, because a lock is frozen right now. But that red mage, if you're keeping Ricardo playing 1 forward a turn, and it looks like that's the case because he's only got 3 backups, and he's losing cards in his hand, that red mage is really gonna have a huge effect on that.
correct.
Let's see what he does here.
Thinking about
what he's going to play. Brian checks his BreakZone to see if what outs he has coming up. Going to pitch that Argith to play into a lock. It does not trigger. The Setzer's gone.
Usually that's not a great sign when you have to just play forwards in order to be to block and to kind of stave off save things off. It is not a sign that your lines of play are optimal.
Right. I would just keep swinging with that Sabin.
All of them are larger than lock.
Or just make the lock not block. I think that's what he's going to do right here.
I don't even think he has to spend the resources to do that either. He could literally just.
Like he's got another line of play. He might just blow up that lock right now.
He might just do that.
Might be kind of overreaching. I would wait for something else to come out to blow up, but he might go ahead. Oh, he's going to Phoenix that. Let's go ahead and take a look at Phoenix. It is a newer card for a lot of our viewers who haven't been used to seeing Opus 5 card.
And he brought back
He's going to bring back a Renoa. He's going to just swing with that Genesis there. No help there on the EX. He's going to go ahead and target Renoa. His lock. And no help there. Just another Edward. Yeah.
That's
strong
tough.
Turn.
I mean, you're staring down lethal right now.
Yes, he's definitely staring down lethal right now.
I mean, even if you were to play something like Zalera, I don't think you would be able to save him at this point.
Yeah, we have a 4, a 3, a 4, and a 3.
So 2 4s would still be alive if you were to play Zalera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Thaumaturge.
Go ahead and discard a card here. See if Brian wants to respond. He's going to go ahead and pitch the Phoenix. And I believe that's game. You just have to red mage and swing.
1 card in hand, 3
Red
active
mage and
backups.
swing.
I mean, there's definitely a couple ways he can keep the game going, but it might not be very pretty.
Oh, he is just going to blow it up with the VV.
And that just might be it. Let's take a look if EX makes any difference. Nope. And 6.
Oh, he's going to freeze too, but I don't think that's a big deal.
And that's a 7.
7.
Wow.
Just like that, Brian Berkeley's going to go ahead and take that down, handing Ricardo a definitive defeat here. Talk to me about what you saw there and what could have Ricardo done a little differently. It seemed like he was always a little bit behind here, and I wasn't sure if he was able to even stabilize the match. He didn't have a chance to stabilize the match there. I think Brian was just able to continually play into the locks and into his own Setzer as well. Both players played the same thing. So what was the turning point?
So in terms of how you have to handle aggression, as we saw earlier when Sam played, sometimes your big plays, your bigger characters, bigger summons might not be effective enough to keep you going. And in this case, he was able to slow things down, somewhat stabilize,
right,
and play out backups. He played Yuna with a 5 cost. He played Setzer with a 5 cost.
Yeah.
Setzer blocked and froze something, letting him have a couple more turns.
Right.
And then playing another Setzer, doing that again. But it just was not enough.
It just wasn't enough. I think Brian's deck was just more consistent at creating threat.
Correct.
Especially with that red mage, always just looming. I mean, he didn't need the VV. You know, he could have just red maged and swung, and that would have been the same. And then if for some reason something happened, he could have VV'd afterwards. You know, but things being all the way, it worked out for him regardless. I think he played a very strong game, very meticulous in his turns. He didn't make a misplay. He thought about it. He knew exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He knew exactly where he wanted to go, and I think that was a very, very strong play on Brian's end. He did very well, and I don't think that Ricardo had any answer at any point.
It's really tough. So what we talked about before was that when you play aggressive deck, you worry about running out of steam. So what some people used to do, or some. Or depending on play styles.
Right.
Some people play very aggressive, very few backup. In this case, Brian actually put out 3 backups and kept a solid enough form of aggression going, and really hitting Ricardo's hand.
Right.
And that really punished him.
That really that Genesis and the lock, and then just keeping Ricardo. There's different ways of control in this game, and if you want to control the board, as we've seen with Lightning, you can just kill it on the board, or you could actually limit the player's ability to play cards by just taking cards out of their hand. And, you know, cards like Lock or Genesis do that, as well as add provided benefit on the battlefield. You know, I think Brian played a really, really good game there, a really strong match. Thank you guys for girls, everybody, people, for joining us here on the BreakZone, and we give you live coverage of the Boston Crystal Cup on the road to Nats as players try to get their bid to the national championships for North America. Before we go off into our break, I really wanted to, we had told you earlier we were going to do some announcements, and we'd have an announcement from Square Enix about the Crystal Cup. And so we're going to go ahead and show you some new dates for the next line of Crystal Cups that are coming up. And we hope you guys enjoy that. So we're just going to go and talk about that right now as we switch over. Those are some of the events coming up. Please mark your calendars. If you guys want a chance to get into the national championships for North America, that's your bid to go do that. You got to come over here, you got to play hard, and hopefully you come out on top and you're able to get in. Another announcement that we want to do, and as everyone knows, for this Boston Crystal Cup, every player here got a very, very cool little gift. It was a Vincent box. They're amazing. If you haven't seen them, Square Enix has them on their website to take a look for the promotions. You've seen them. What do you think?
They look amazing.
They're
We're
awesome.
Talking about legendary Vincent from Opus 2.
Right, they're
super
cool. And it's cool because a lot of the events in Japan and Europe have gotten these card boxes. This is the first time North America's gotten these card boxes. And for the first time now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what players are going to get in the Toronto event. So you're hearing it here on the BreakZone. And here we go.
Square Enix does so much for the community. All
Right.
these little things, they really add up.
They do.
Just the amount of thought and care and energy and everything that they put in to put those events together to reach out to the community.
Right.
I just appreciate it so much.
Right. So, you guys, I hope that gets you guys hyped up for the upcoming events. And for the players here that are going to watch this later, get hyped. You know, get it there. Get onto Toronto. Get into Kansas City. Show your region some love. Get in and make a bid for that North American Championship. Because if they're giving these cool boxes for just the Crystal Cups, I can't even imagine what they're going to do for nationals. And I'm excited to find out. So we'll be there. If you guys haven't met us before, I'm JT. This is Laurent. We're the BreakZone. We'll be in Toronto and Kansas City and all the rest of the Crystal Cups. So come by and say hi if you're there. But just get hyped for these awesome boxes. Right? They're just cool. We're looking at the Vincent ones all day today.
Man,
So
I mean, sometimes I think like, do I really have to commentate? Can I just participate?
we just want to play so we can get
just,
these. So.
Can I just pre-reg and then drop round one and just take my box home?
Just get the boxes, right? So, players get hyped. Again, just thank you to Square for just showing some love to the players, and giving us these exclusive things. And if you didn't play the pre-release had exclusive card sleeves. So all of these things are things that Square is doing to kind of show the love to the players, and we see it, and we definitely want to be appreciative of that. So get hyped, get your time off now, and we'll see you guys at those events. For now, go ahead and take a break. We're going to go ahead and switch off to our transition before our round 6. We hope you guys enjoyed that last round, and we'll bring you guys more coverage of the Boston Crystal Cup in just a little bit, so stay tuned.